that point, don't make the mistake of using 1 or 2 point perspective. You have to only use 3 point perspective over there. Hi future designers, I am Palak Khanna and you are watching me on The Design Ladder, a stepway to your dream design college. In this video, we are going to bust all the doubts, all the confusions regarding types of perspectives. How many types of perspective drawings are there? Can a same scene be in 1 point, 2 point and 3 point perspective at the same time? How do we exactly know what kind of perspective to use in a particular question in the exam? By the end of this video, I guarantee you will be seeing the perspective drawings in a whole new different way. And this one is going to be a very interesting video. So let's quickly get started. As till now, we have learned about the details of the fundamentals of perspective drawing in part 1 of this series. Hope you have seen that video. If not, then go check out that video first and see all the videos in a serial order for this series. The link of each video is given in the description box down below. And if you have seen that video already, then now you know that perspective is simply the way of looking at things or viewing the things from a particular angle. So now we know that there can be multiple ways of looking at a particular thing or an object. For example, let's look at this cube. We can see this cube from here or even from here. Similarly, a same building can be viewed from here, or even from here. So the angle from which you are viewing a particular building or an object defines the type of perspective that building is in. Let's now understand how the perspective changes as we change the angle of viewing that particular object with the help of this cube's example. Look at this cube carefully and observe the angle you are viewing it from. Its one face is completely facing you. You are the viewer here. Even if you change the position of this cube to left, still one face is completely facing you. And now if you change the position to the right, still one face is completely facing you. Similarly, if you take it up or down, in all these situations, you have one complete face looking at you. It can be any face, this side of the cube or this face of the cube or this face of the cube, does not matter. So in situations like this, you are viewing the object from 1 point perspective. How? I'll explain the logic behind it. If we freeze this object at any position and take a snapshot of it, and we try to extend the converging length of this cube backwards towards infinity, we observe that the lines converge to one vanishing point, hence 1 point perspective. Rest all of the lines are parallel. So we are in a position to now conclude that in 1 point perspective, all the lines of the length of the object go and converge at one vanishing point, and also one complete side of the object faces the viewer completely. Now, one common place where a lot of students get confused is with the buildings in perspective. For example, this building is in 1 point perspective, but they think since the face of the building is the entrance point and that is not facing us, so how can it be in 1 point perspective? So let me clear that to you. As in the case of a cube, I told you that it can be any face or any side of the cube that should be facing the viewer completely. Similarly, it can be any side of the building too. It can be the back side of the building, it can be the adjacent side of the building, it can be the front side of the building, but one complete side is facing you. That means the opposite sets of lines on this face are parallel to each other and are not converging at all. Try to imagine every building, every car or anything into a basic building block of shape that is a cube or a cuboid. This will help you with an easy visualization and help you understand the basic correctly. So now let's quickly move on to 2 point perspective. Let's take the example of the same cube, and this time instead of viewing it from this angle, from the face of it, we are going to move around a little and view it from the edge of it. This again can be any edge, this one, or this one. None of the face of the cube is completely facing us. You can see the lines of both the faces are converging to some point and they are not parallel or perpendicular. So now you are viewing this object from a 2 point perspective. How can we say that? If we try to extend all the converging sides of this cube, they end up meeting up at 2 different points on the plane. One on the right of the object, second on the left of the object. Hence 2 2-point perspective because it has 2 vanishing points. And in this position, you will see all 3 edges of the cube exactly parallel to each other. Similarly, if we view any building from the edge of it instead of viewing it from the face of it, we are viewing the same building now in 2-point perspective. And the 3 edges of the building remain parallel to each other. So now we can conclude that in 2-point perspective, all of the 3 edges are parallel to each other and all the side lines are converging to 2 different vanishing points. Interesting, isn't it? So let's make it more interesting and view this cube from one last angle. So in case 3, we are looking at this cube from the edge only, but this time we have gone a little high up in the space or little too low near the ground and viewing this from that point. So now if we analyze these 2 situations, we'll observe that the middle edge is straight just like in 2-point perspective, but the side edges, unlike 2-point perspective, have started to converge and they are not parallel anymore. And in this situation, if we extend all the converging lines to infinity, we'll be surprised to see that these lines are converging at 3 different vanishing points. Hence, 3-point perspective. So now let's see some of the examples of buildings or objects in 3-point perspective. So now did you see that the same building or the same object can be in 1-point, 2-point or 3-point perspective depending on what angle you are viewing that object or the building or the scene from. 1 point is mostly used in the scenes when you are the part of that scene closely. You are in that scene like a closed market scene or something like that where you are particularly looking in one direction. Try to use 1-point perspective. 2-point perspective is mostly used in the scenes when you are trying to diverse the scene and show 2 different sides, 2 different directions of one particular scene and viewing that scene from quite a distance. Then you use 2-point perspective. When we are trying to show various sides of the building or various street corners, 3-point perspective is only used when you are asked to imagine the scene from an ant's eye view or a worm's eye view, means from a very low lying angle you are trying to view a very large thing, or from a bird's eye view. That means you are very high up in the space and looking at something that is too angled down. A lot of time question comes that you are an ant and you are trying to view a building or a park scene or anything in front of you. So imagine that ant is too small and if she is looking up in the sky and looking at you, you will appear as a giant to her, So that foreshortening will happen that can only be shown through 3-point perspective. So now let's quickly summarize the difference between 1-point, 2-point and 3-point. In 1-point, one face is completely facing the viewer and has 2 sets of parallel lines. That means the width line and the height lines are parallel and the length is converging to one vanishing point. So that means 2 sets of parallel lines and 1 set of converging lines. In 2-point perspective, no face of the object is exactly facing you. Only the edge of that object is facing the viewer. And the side edges are always parallel to the center edge. So since the heights are parallel, we have 1 set of parallel lines and length and width are converging. So that means 2 set of converging lines. So in 3-point perspective, we have again no side facing the viewer, only edge facing the viewer, but the side edges are not parallel to the central edge. So it has 0 set of parallel lines and 3 set of converging lines and 3 vanishing points. So I hope by now you have no confusion between 1-point, 2-point and 3-point perspective drawings. And now I'm so excited to teach you guys how to do 1-point, 2-point and 3-point perspective on paper, because now you know all the fundamentals. It will be so easy for you to make these perspectives. And I'll teach them to you step by step in the next video of this series. Click on the link in the description box below to see if that video is already out by the time you are watching this video. If not, make sure you hit the subscribe button on the channel so that you immediately get the update of that video. See you guys in the next video of this series. Take care. Bye bye.